Literally just got the news. Hang on a second. I'm about to walk my dog and get the news. A phone call comes into me. One of my people tells me, Mike, the news just hit. Marjorie Taylor Greene, MTG, she's resigning. She's out of politics. She's out of the House of Representatives. She's gone. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean she's gone? What do you mean she's out? How can she be out? And he's like, no, there's no details. She's just done. She's, government is corrupt and nothing's happening, and, Trump pulled his endorsement and she's done. I'm like, what is going on? This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy town. I don't know what to think of this. I don't know what to make of this. I am amazed. Now, the first thought that came to my mind, somebody has information on MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Somebody's got some kind of secret on her, some deep dark, she did something to someone or said something about someone, and because of that, she's screwed, and that she thought it was going to come out during 2026 midterms. That's what I'm thinking. Or that she was not going to get any kind of funding from the RNC. The GOP wasn't going to give her any backing because Trump's mad at her at the moment. And that was going to sink her. She couldn't be able to compete. I don't think that's right, though. Because, and I know there's background noise. Hang on. I'm outside. I'm walking my dog. So, hang on a second. There's another dog passing by my dog. Hang on one second. There we go. Come. Con, pay attention. Okay, I'm walking my dog, like I said. This is live. This just happened. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to think about this. So, okay. So, GOP was going to pull the money from her because Trump's pissed at her. Because she went off the reservation in trying to get the Epstein files out, apparently. And she was too vocal, pushed too hard. That seems to be part of it. So, okay, maybe that's part of it. But what else? There's got to be more to this. This story doesn't make sense. Again, I come back to somebody has to have some kind of information, some deep, dark secret on Marjorie Taylor Greene. Because she could easily have won her district. She was liked enough, and she was on the tail of being the one to push the Epstein files and to get them released. So that's a positive for her. That would have gave her a big boost in 2026 in the midterms to get reelected. So I don't understand. She could have won. And suddenly, like out the blue now, she's had weeks. Trump's been mad for a while. Dems have been loving this story about the Civil War in the Republican Party, that, MTG, one of the biggest MAGA supporters, was on the outs. So they were loving that. I don't know. So the Dems are upset because that would have been a good story for them. They need the story. They need the news. They don't have anything really positive to go on. The Democrats are, by the way, this news story came out yesterday that the DNC is broke. The DNC has no money. They had to take a loan for $15 million. Their donors have completely abandoned them. We knew in May that their donors had given up on them and they weren't giving them any money. We knew that back in May. And they said they got some money. It seems they got just enough to get through a couple of months. So now they're desperate because their donors aren't giving them money. I'm talking about the big dollar donors. I'm sure some mom and pops are still giving them money. Some of the, vote blue no matter who faithfuls gave them their 5s and 10s, but that's not enough. They need the big billionaires. And all the good billionaires, according to Ken Martin, all the big good billionaires that the Dems usually rely on, like your Mark Cubans, your Jeff Bezos, yeah, they abandoned them. They said they can't win. They have no message. They have no leadership. They have no focus. And now, because of that, they had to borrow $15 million to get to the end of the year. That isn't even the 2026 midterm elections. All of their candidates, all of the Democrat candidates are at risk now. They've got no big money coming in from the party, which means all the DSA, they're going to run. They're going to run with that. That's why Hakeem Jeffries is being challenged for his position, even though he's the minority leader of the House, and he's supposed to be one of the most powerful Democrats in D.C. right now. He's not. And that's because the DNC's got no juice to back him up. And so the DSA are saying, hey, this is their chance. They can jump in and take him out at his knees because the DNC can't come up with extra money to back him. Not when they're taking loans. And there's no guarantee that they can fulfill that loan. I mean, really, this is bad. This is bad for what's going on in politics right now. And I see the comments come by, and I see there's a couple of new people. Hey there, good to see you. This isn't normally how I do my live streams, but I'm just live reacting right now. I'm just totally live reacting to the news. So back-to-back news stories. I was going to talk about the DNC being broke on Sunday for the Sunday live stream. Might as well talk about it now, because these are two back-to-back stories. One is getting a lot of attention. That's MTG. What's not getting a lot of story is where the DNC is. But they're both changing DC. They're changing Congress in their own ways. So in 2026, we're going to see a massive change in our government. You got people like Jerry Nadler and Nancy Pelosi, Dick Durbin. They're all retiring, which means they're getting kicked out. They're no longer useful. They can't raise money like they used to be able to. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Maxine Waters next week or two by the end of the year say that she's out because she's part of that old guard. And I don't think she can get a whole lot of money. I don't think she's capable of raising money like she used to. And she's old. Maxine Waters is very old. But I don't think she's got the pull that she used to. So she's going to go too, I think. So that means a big part of the Democratic leadership over the last several decades, they're all going to be, come on, across the street, they're all going to be switching out. And the only people who have some kind of focus, and I think they're insane, it's the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. More of the Ilhan Omars, more of the Anna Presleys, more of the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes. They're going to come in to fill the spaces. Nut jobs, every single one of them, which is going to be ridiculous. Democratic Party's going to lose people left and right. They're just going to straight up lose people. They may become libertarians, or they might become independent. Most likely, they're going to be independents. They don't want to join the Republican Party. They're just going to be no one. I think this is going to affect, all of this is going to affect the New York governor's race, among other races. But I think you're going to see this big in the New York governor's race. Kathy Hochul was very much dependent on the DNC money to win that race, to be able to fight against Elise and Larry Sharp, and more importantly, to get her name out to rally the Democrats, because they have nothing really to look forward to. I mean, the establishment, that was Cuomo. He lost. And they don't really have, Elise is not popular enough to hold off a real, well-funded challenge amongst Democrats. Now, do I think that means Antonio Delgado has a chance? Absolutely not. Delgado will not be able to make it. He's going to lose because he's a grifter. In my opinion, Antonio Delgado is the same thing as Cameron Kasky, who's running for the New York 12th District to replace Jerry Nadler. He's a grifter. They're just grifters. They're there for the money. They don't want to win. They just want the attention, and so they can get a donor list of Democrats so they can make a lot of money without having to do a lot of work. That's my opinion of Cameron Kasky running for the 12. That's my opinion of Antonio Delgado. And they're going to be more encouraged now. Democrats are going to be even more desperate. The establishment, the rank and file Democrats who aren't part of the Working Families Party, who aren't part of the DSA, who aren't part of the far left, they're going to be panicking right now going into 2026. They're going to be desperate to find somebody who has any kind of leadership, any kind of focus, any kind of plan, and they're going to dump money into that person, and they're going to dump votes into that person because they're afraid. That's the Democrats looking at 2026. But now Republicans, they've got money. They got like $83 million in the bank in cash right now. They're going to be fine to fund their candidates, but the GOP, how much faith can you have? We saw it with Sliwa, that the GOP they threw away their principles to try and maintain power. They did it to Sliwa. They threw him under a bus rather than standing behind him. The question wasn't, should Sliwa win? And I would have loved it for him to win, or even get 20%. I was public. I said I thought he would get 20%. I lost a couple of bets publicly on Sliwa because he didn't get over 20%. I thought he'd get at least 25. But when you're throwing people under the bus in your own party for the GOP, how much confidence and faith can candidates, especially first-time candidates, how much faith can they have in your party that you're going to really stand up for them and that you stand up for the principles? So the GOP is kind of having the same problem that the DNC is having, that their principles are for sale. They're for sale. I don't know. Let's see. Eric says their big donor was big tech and they lost them. Well, yeah, that's a lot of people think the AI bubble is what's going to kick this all off. I don't think that's it. I think this is the Democrats have been pushing for a change in the country. They've been looking forward to that. I mean, look at this most recent with Slotkin and a couple of Mark Kelly, and they're like, oh yeah, if you're in the military, you should disobey orders from the commander-in-chief. Oh, he's not lawful. It's not lawful. Everything that Trump has done is lawful. They don't like the laws that Trump has used as his reasoning for the actions he has taken to mass deport illegal aliens. And the Democrats have been going full boat trying to save those illegal aliens. They've gone and they've used every trick in the book to try and keep illegal aliens in this country, including protests. Lots and lots of protests. Hang on. Stay. Go. Walking my dog still. So they've used every trick in the book to try and keep as many illegal aliens in this country as possible, including having riots and protests. Lots of riots. Lots of violent protests. So, and why would they do that? Let me answer that real quick. The reason why they do that is because the census counts illegal aliens and citizens. And that's the reason why New York City only lost one member of Congress instead of losing 3 in 2021, because we counted illegal aliens that came from Joe Biden first day in office. So they need the illegal aliens because people are New York is number 1 in citizens leaving New York State. California is number 2. And if I remember correctly, the last time I saw the data, New Jersey is number 3. So 3 of the biggest pure bluer than blue states have the most people leaving their state to go anywhere else. And so Democrats are in trouble. They're in massive trouble. So I don't know where this goes. And this, of course, still brings me back to Marjorie Taylor Greene. What the hell happened? And I'm asking you guys online, what the hell happened? Is there some deep, dark secret? She's having an affair with somebody that's completely forbidden? Did she steal money? I mean, what did this woman do? I don't know what it is. She's always been a firebrand. She's always been very vocal. But unlike people like Jasmine Crockett, Marjorie Taylor Greene is smart. And definitely smarter than Jasmine Crockett, who decided that anybody named Jeffrey Epstein is the same as the Jeffrey Epstein that died. They're all the same person, apparently, according to Jasmine Crockett. And she wants you to think, just because she was completely wrong and all the evidence says she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about on Dr. Epstein donations, even though that's completely false what she said. She's like, I didn't lie. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Just like when Democrats are saying, you shouldn't, you have an obligation to not follow illegal orders. You know what? I was in the Marine Corps. Yes, you have an obligation not to follow illegal orders. That means you don't shoot up a village full of moms and kids. It's from Vietnam. That's the whole point of it. You're not attacking civilians. Kind of like, Hamas, who shot up a music festival. That's a war crime, and anyone who told you to do that, that's an illegal order if you happen to be in the military. That's illegal. But Donald Trump saying that in California there are a bunch of foreign gangs like the MS-13, like the Tren de Aragua, are in California. They're entrenched in the government, in the cities. They're committing massive crimes. And you know what? The military was called in to help get rid of them. And there was rioting as the Marines were called in. Active rioting. And the police couldn't handle it. That's not the same thing. That's not an illegal order. That's a legal order. Democrats may not like that because they want to protect those gangs and those illegals, but it's a legal order. Feelings have nothing to do with it. And by the way, anyone who's in the service and you say, I don't like Trump, so I don't have to follow his orders, you're out of your mind. You need a court-martial and court-martial all of them. Because you don't have to like the president. They're still the commander-in-chief. You still follow their orders. Period. I didn't like Clinton. I followed his orders. You don't have to like Obama. You follow his orders. You don't like Trump. You follow his orders. That's it. It's that simple. But anyway, I don't know. Is this this live stream? It's not very focused. Like I said, it's right off. It's just me, raw reaction, very, very raw reaction. Hearing the news, literally like 2 minutes, 3 minutes before I went live, I got the news about MTG deciding not to run. And that was only, 20 minutes before I found out that the Democrats were taking loans for $15 million because they're out of money. Because they're broken. They're busted. They're going to lose. So it's been quite a Friday night before Thanksgiving. That's going to change our politics. It's going to really change our politics. Look, I haven't had a chance to look at all the comments. I thank everyone who just jumped on just because I was on. And anyone who left a comment, I'm going to check them. I don't know. Is it AI? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think there's something else going on here. I just don't understand what it is. But thank you for sharing your raw feelings with me on this. As I walk my dog, it's 50 degrees out. I look forward to seeing the comments. You know, I'm going to look over the comments in the chat, but I'm also looking forward to seeing the comments on the video. Tell me what you think caused all this. What's behind this? Especially MTG. What's behind this? Let me know, and I may do another video tomorrow to follow up as I double check even more news. I know I have confirmed the 15 million. That's been, you know, NBC was covering that news. They didn't make it national. It wasn't a big deal, but it's out there. And I did confirm the Marjorie Taylor Greene story. So I need to see more reactions, more coverage to really get a better hold on this. And I will do that, and I will either do another live stream or video coverage of it on Saturday, or I will wait until Sunday at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time to do my 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and do my normal Sunday live stream, and I'll cover these stories then. They'll be some of the leading stories. So thank you guys for walking my dog with me as we have all this breaking news come out. I hope you're going to have a great Friday night. I hope you're going to have a better Friday night than Marjorie Taylor Greene or Jasmine Crockett. I hope you're going to have a great weekend. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday, if not sooner. Thank you so much. Remember, every single super chat, every single donation, whether it's on the PayPal or the Patreon or you go to Zazzle, 50% of that is going towards the Jericho Project because I don't trust Zoran Money, and I definitely don't trust him to take care of the homeless and our veterans who are homeless. And so I'm doing something myself. I'm raising money, and on January 2026, I'm going to make a big donation. 50% of everything that we've raised in the month of November, 50% of everything I raised in the month of December is going to go out in January to the Jericho Project. So please do consider making a donation if you can. Doesn't matter if it's big or small, it all adds up. It all makes a difference to those who are out in the cold, those who are homeless, and and our veterans and families in everywhere across this country. All right, so with that said, I thank you guys. I will end this, and I'll talk to you again really, really soon. If I can figure it out.